Hello everyone, Josh here with Gacha Legends, bringing y'all another Infinite Magicraid video. And today a lot of people have been asking me for the past few days, Josh, when are you going to get to your beginner guide video? Well, here we go. I like to play the games very extensively with multiple accounts and explore a lot of different things and do various things between separate accounts to kind of see where I can get, where I can't get, what's the most efficient, non-efficient way to do things, and kind of get an overall grasp of what everything has to offer before I make these videos. That's why I don't like to jump into a beginner guide right out of the gate, because I feel like I'm just doing a disservice to all of you as my viewers and as a content creator to give you the best advice that I possibly can and guide you through that way you can enjoy your game as much as I do. So here we are. We're going to start in the top left, work our way around, going through some of the various elements here on the main lobby before we start diving into individual things. We are going to be all over the place, so keep that in mind. Hope you all enjoy. This will probably be a little bit of a longer video, but it will have tons of information. So, top left, let's go ahead and click here. We have our name, Gacha YT. There you go. It'll show your arena lineup, what your rank is, what your guild you're associated with, what's your current stage, progression, and story. It'll have your ID so you can add people or they can add you. It'll have your level, which currently we're level 21. This is my side account, by the way. We've been playing for a couple days. You also have your avatar, which you can select any avatar of any character that you currently own in your box, and avatar frame, depending on what you do progression-wise with various content, especially arena. You can get an avatar frame. And then you can equip it, and then that's it. Then you have your settings. You can set up your settings for music, sound, smooth, standard, high definition, 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, switch server, switch account, user agreement, privacy agreement, notification, support, language, and redeem codes. That's a good place to put your codes in. There are currently 2 codes available right now. I believe it's test, and then 111, 111, and then I believe the other one is capital I, capital M, 777. I do believe those are the 2 current codes. If I did mess those up, I do apologize. Now, I'm not sure how long those codes are going to last for, but I just thought I'd include those since we were there anyways. Next to that, you have your team power, 138, as you can see. And we also have the shop weekly cards. Very good value for those of you that are looking to spend some kind of money. And while we're in the shop, we might as well look at the value packs. These pop up from time to time alongside the flash packs, depending on what content you've already cleared. These will pop up. They're usually very good value. So again, if you are a spender, these will be something that you want to look into, as well as the period pack, the privileges, the weekly card, the resource shop, which you can use your gems with. So this is somewhat of a everybody can use this shop, even free to plays. Diamond shop, and then of course a growth fund, which has a free to play reward, and then if you want to spend for the VIP. But this is something that you're probably not going to even want to pay for, even if you're well, until you get, like, you know, I'd say level 30 to 40, somewhere in that margin, because then you're going to get your money's worth instantly for $25 or whatever it may cost in your home region. The one next to it, the crown, we briefly skimmed over this, but I wanted to talk about this separate. This is the subscription for, you know, for 7 days or 30 days. Now, you do get this at the start of the game for free, so definitely go into this and claim it. Whenever you claim it for 3 days, you're going to get to capitalize on all these rewards. Campaign auto drop rewards plus 50%. The key to Tower of Mark plus 3. Coin cost for enhancement minus 5%. Multi-battle attempts per day 20. Max guild boss standard plus 1. Daily dispatch quest plus 3. And max campaign auto drop duration plus 12 hours. This is huge because normally that's only 6 hours. So you'd have to come and check the game multiple times a day to make sure you claim all the rewards. With this, you only have to check it once or twice a day, which is very, very convenient. So take full advantage of that for 3 days. Very, very cool stuff. All right, moving on over. We have our stamina. You get quite a bit early on. Don't let that fool you. Make sure you want to use that. You know, you want to manage that stamina correctly, especially use it alongside certain events where you're getting double drop rates, which we'll talk about that later. You have your normal stamina there for normal arena. We're 2 out of 10 right now. Now, that does not reset with the daily reset. Now, what does reset is if we go to arena for a moment, the advanced arena, that does refresh. So you want to make sure you do your 10. You can see right here, you get 10 that refresh at daily reset every day. So you want to make sure you get those done before reset. That way you're not losing any. Because normal arena does not reset with the daily reset. Those just accumulate over time throughout the day, all day. These, it's 10 for the day for free, and that's it. If you want any more, you have to use gems. But it will refresh at the beginning of the new day. So again, make sure you use them. Guild arena, we usually see that once or twice a month, give or take, I do believe. I'm not exactly sure on that, but that'll be, you know, there you go. Classic Arena and Advanced Arena, they both have their weekly rewards. I'll show you guys quickly what the rewards really are. All right, so seasonal rewards. There's 2 days left currently at the recording of this video. First place gets 1,000 gems, 5 supreme runes, which is huge. That's basically a third of a pity right there. And then 1 million gold, and then of course it just goes down. And then they get put in brackets, 11 to 20, 21 to 50, 51 to 100, 101 to 200, etc., all the way down. And the same thing will be in the advanced arena as well. I don't want to talk too much more on that because that's more or less kind of what it is. Now, one important thing with arena, if you get wins, especially in the normal arena, you get these things called talents. These class talents that give you huge buffs. For example, we're getting an extra 300 attack right now for all my defensive units. Right now I'm getting 400 for all my attack units, and my support is also 300 because you get these books and you feed these books in. They'll tell you how much you need, and when you get these up to level 10, you can then move on to the next stat and then eventually work your way all the way over to the final stat. And these give you pretty big boosts. You can even reset that if you'd like. If you want to try and, like, let's say you get over 10 on some of these, you want to go back and revert them and change them up, you can do so. So we'll get back to the mark talents though in a moment, but that is associated with arena, so I wanted to cover that. Now, you have your gold at the top, you have your gems. Of course, we already talked about some of the areas you can spend your gems on. We also have another video where I talked about what you can spend your golden gems on, so I don't want to cover that too much more in this video. Same thing with the market, which we'll get to in a moment. And then let's start working our way down. Now we have events. Well, actually, it's not even really events. This just kind of shows a lot of different things here. You have your events. Some of them you could call events. Some of them are more like mini games. Right now, we don't have any mini games available, but we will be getting some soon. You can look, see what's kind of coming here. Some of these are mini games, which are very, very cool. Get some various rewards for that as well. We also have an event calendar. You can kind of see what's all happening, you know, a week or so in advance, which is very, very nice. Definitely pay attention to these if you are a free-to-play especially, and there are certain areas of content that you want to clear, and you know one of these events are coming up soon for like double drop rates and stuff. Make sure you wait for those days to go in hard on them where your stamina, that way your stamina is giving you way more value. I mean, you're getting double drops. That's very crucial to long-term investment for a free-to-play, so keep that in mind. We have challenge right now. This is like a, I believe this is a 7-day event currently going on, 7-day beginner challenge. On day 7, we'll get a space. Now, this should be locked to whenever you start your account, I believe. I don't think this has anything to do with how long the game's been out. I think this is just what every new account gets, and for 7 days, you get all these rewards, and then it goes away. So that's per account basis, not per server or anything like that, which is very cool. Same thing with the sign-in bonus we have right now. This is also going to be per account, not per server base. So, you know, if you start the game today, you're going to be on day 1. If somebody started a week ago, they're going to be on day 7. And then on day 14, you get a free margarita and you get all these other various rewards, which are very, very nice. So there's that. We have hero regression. This is where you're going to be able to take a hero and just completely recall it. You're going to recall it back to its base star, back to its base level, and they're going to give you all the resources that you build into it. Now, there's one thing to keep in mind with hero regression. Try your hardest. I mean, absolutely try your hardest. Do not put too much emblems into a unit that you might have to recall at some point later on. Because the problem is, if you put hundreds, even thousands of stamina into emblems for a certain unit and you do recall it, those emblems cannot be used on any other hero except for that hero. That's the only resource that when you get it back, you truly don't get it back because it's only for that hero. So you'd have to build that hero up again to utilize all those emblems that you already wasted stamina for. So that is a very big thing to keep in mind. Now you can buy additional regression potions for 1,000 gems, but they do give you 2 for free at the beginning of the game. So that's very, very nice. You can also utilize that in a strategic way to get through some of the hero leveling up events that we have. You can try and push some of those regression potions out and then kind of cheese your way up the leaderboard. Very funny. And then we have these are basically your auto rewards. They call them auto drop rewards. You can get a lot of various things from here. You can even get account EXP, you can get fodder, you can get gold, EXP potions, stuff of that nature. And as you level it up, you get better and better drops to the point where when you get level 12 and 13, you can start getting epic hero drops at a 0.01% rate. Yeah, it's very, very low, but hey, you have several hours to save these up, because remember, these are obtained every 30 seconds. So yeah, it might be a low drop rate, but I mean, think of a 24-hour day. You might see a couple epics. So there you go, and that could be very good. And then we have the world map. If we go down here, obviously it's just going to show you the world map that's available for all the different story stages and chapters and difficulties. If we go down here to the bottom left, you'll see there's 4 current difficulties. There's common, there's hard, there's nightmare, and then there's hell. Each one will have 12 chapters of story, and each chapter has 10 stages. So there's 120 stages per difficulty, and they all have 3 stars that you can get up to per stage, which then you can get these star rewards down here at the bottom, which go all the way up here to 1440 and give you one of the best heroes in the entire game, Catherine. Easy enough, right? Get out there and do it. So that is story. I guess we start working down here on the bottom. We have battle order. This is basically the battle pass. It unlocks in 7 days, but technically it's 8 days because on day 7 they make you wait almost another 24 hours. That's basically an area where you can go in and get the battle pass rewards. They even have battle pass missions associated to it as well. The rewards there, from what I could see when I was on my test server account, they weren't the greatest, but they're decent, and at least they give you free-to-play options to get a lot of that stuff because they have missions that are there daily. We have quests. You have your daily quest. This will give you 20 gems, and also a free pull there on the last one. I think the 20 gems is at 60. Nope. It is on 40. There's your 20 gems. You get that every single day. They're very easy. They'll take you 20 minutes tops, or give or take, to get these all done. These are very, very simple. Advanced quests. You have these that give you various rewards as well. You have collection quests that give you a lot of goodies, especially later on. You have adventure quests that give you a bunch of goodies, and then accumulation quests that give you a bunch of goodies. So lots of cool stuff there. Then we have the bag. This is, of course, your inventory where you can, store all your materials and stuff like that. Nothing really to speak on there. The only thing I will say is I would like a bag for gear. Gear does not have its own bag. If you want to access gear, you got to go into a character and then go to their equipment, and then you see the gear. I'd like to just be able to have an area in the inventory for gear itself, that way I can go in and manage it and look through it and stuff like that without it being kind of clustered in between the hero panels. But that's neither here nor there. Gallery. This is a really good resource to go in and kind of see all of the available units in the entire game. You can look at the mythics that are OP, all of them. You can look at all your legendaries. You can filter them out how you want. You can go in and check out their base stats, and kind of, check out what their skills look like, especially when they're all maxed out, and kind of get an idea of kind of what units are good and what units are bad, and what kind of teams you want to build potentially, and compare and contrast and all that good stuff that people like to do. And the more heroes you pull that are new, the more your index points fill up here, and then you get rewards for that as well, which you can see down here. So the more pulls you do, the more new units you pull, the more rewards you get. Very, very nice. And then we have the hero panel. This has a lot of things that go on in here. In the hero panel, it shows you kind of what, more or less, what the character's main attributes are. Like for Holder, for example, he's an AoE damage dealer, a counter attacker, and a bleeder. Up here, it'll show you what their awaken level is if they have an awaken level. You have to awaken them first to see that. Their character's name, what the character's grade is. Are they an epic? Are they a legendary? This is the type. Right now, he's an attack type. You'll have an attack type, a defense type, and a support type. This will show you what their element is, more or less. You have force. You have, they call it the force mark. There is no, they're basically the light heroes of this game. There is no dark heroes, surprisingly. They might add those in the future, I'm not sure. But this is for light heroes. As you can see, you have the force mark, there's the red mark, there's the blue mark, and the green mark. That's all the different elements. And then over here, this last one, this is the faction that they belong to. See here, we have Eternal Sect. That's the faction he belongs to. And it tells you what the bonus is depending on... I'm sorry about that. It shows you what bonuses you can get for your team depending on how many of the same faction units that you run in your team. So you can see here, for example, for Holder, increases damage dealt by 12%, 16, 20, and 24 when attacking an enemy target with a debuff, according to the number of Eternal Sect heroes you have deployed. So you need 1, 2, 3, 4, and there you go. Down here, we have the actual max level of the character, and you can also level them up. So you can come down here to a unit that's not fully leveled up, click this, and then you can click this over here, and you can level them up to max if you have enough, or you can do 50 at a time, 30 at a time, or 10 at a time. It shows you what the increase is going to be, how much EXP you need to level up, and then how many potions you have down here. So very helpful. Details. This little eye icon kind of shows you the recommended stats that characters should have and their other stats that they have currently. See here all the different details. You can even click more if you want to see what some of these details actually mean. So very, very helpful. Nice little helpful tooltip right there. Very clean. Back to holder for a moment. Okay, right here, this will show you what the gear set bonuses I currently have. For example, I'm running 2 leech set gear on, I'm running 4 pieces of leech set gear on my holder. And since it's a 2-piece set, I'm getting the bonus 10% and another bonus 10% for a combined total of 20%. Same thing over here. You can see here, I'm running 2 HP sets, so I'm getting 40%. So it's very helpful to see that. You can also see their stats right now currently, their HP, attack, defense, and speed. You can see their skills. You can even upgrade your skills down here if they're not already fully upgraded. Now, it'll go into one of 4 skills randomly every time you invest into them with a scroll. So if you see down here, like with Lester, for example, if I want to upgrade his skill, I'll go ahead and click this. And then boom, it'll go into a random skill. And then we'll do it again. And boom. So we got one to go into his passive, one to go into his ultimate. So there's that. That's how you do that. All that information. Before we go into equipment, let's go and talk about some other things here. We have Awaken, Exclusive, Aura, Emblem, and then their total power currently. Now, emblems, you're going to get these from the Emblem Tower, and then this is what I was talking about. This is something that you want to be very careful with when you're talking about regressing here if you ever plan to recall them. These materials right here are per character. So if I saved up like 10,000 of these and I went through and I upgraded a whole bunch of these things and then I decided to recall him, I'm going to get all 10,000 of those back, except it's only going to be useful for him. And since these are tied to your awakening level, you might not even be able to reuse them again for a while. Thus, all the stamina that you used on that was wasted. You're going to be very, very careful that you don't go too hard on emblem enhancement on a unit that you think you might end up recalling eventually in the future, because that stamina will be lost. Just something I wanted to make very clear. Auras, when you unlock the faction wars, you can go in and start farming up some auras. There's some very good auras in here. Then you got a little description here if you want to kind of see what auras do. Auras are very powerful. Click activate and you can see some of the auras here that are available. A lot of you, when you first unlock it, you're going to be getting the green and the blue ones more so. And I believe you can only have one active at a time. And they do various things for your unit that can make them very powerful. So that'll be something that you're going to get more around at endgame. Now, Awakening is basically how you get them from an A1 to an A2, an A3, A4 for a maximum of A5. The first time you awaken hero, it's going to require 2 5 stars fodder. It could either be via dragon eggs, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, or a 5-star hero. You're going to feed those in. You're going to get them up to an A1. What it basically does is just allows them to level up an additional 10 times for a max cap of 150 at A5, and gives them a bonus HP, attack, defense, and speed stat ups, which is very, very nice. So for example, if I want to take this holder to A4, Awaken 4, I'm going to need 5 stars, either via the 5-star materials, which they call dragon eggs in this game, or 5-star heroes. So there you go. And then for A5, it'll be the same thing. It'll be 5 for 4, 5 for 5. The first one will cost you 2, the second one will cost you 3, and the third one, I believe, will cost you 4. So there you go. That's how many 5-star materials you're going to need. For exclusives, this is where you can use one of the free dupe materials that you can get from various things like events, from campaign quests, or you have to use the actual dupe of the hero that you pulled. Now, in the case of epics, unfortunately, you have to take a 4-star epic and make it a 5-star before you can feed it in. Whereas a 5-star, which would be a legendary, you would just feed it in without anything else additionally that you have to do. And that's going to allow you to go up to level 1, level 2, level 3, and eventually all the way up to level 5 to maximize all of these skills and get all these additional stats down here. So that is what you do with the technical dupe system. Now, equipment. Going here to equipment, we have our beautiful equipment panel, which this is what was not the biggest fan of. I would like, I'm fine with the equipment right here when I'm actually working on it per individual unit. I think what we do need is an auto remove gear button. Like, I'd love to have that instead of have to go through one at a time. That'd be very helpful. And sometimes the filter doesn't work, but that might be a bug. They might address that later on. But I would like to also be able to play with my gear in my inventory, like in a bag by itself, separate from everything else, so I can just kind of go through quickly, lock up things I want. I mean, you can still do it here. It's just a little nitpicky of me. I apologize. But regardless, you can see here, they have everything separated: attack set, defense set, HP set, speed, crit, all that good stuff. You can go through here. You can select what gear you have, and then you want to look over here, and you can kind of see the differences. They're the same level. Like if you have a plus 12 and that's a plus 12, you can see kind of what stats are going up and what's going down. It'll allow you to quickly realize which sets you want to throw in or throw out. You also have, you can also sort it by, like, let's say we just want to see just healing effect plus 20%. We don't see nothing else. And that's the only gear that'll pop up. You can do that as well. Quickly get to it. You can lock your gear. You can unlock your gear. You can see you got all of our substats, you got your main stat, you got your effect and all that. But we're going to make a gear guide video, so I don't want to go too much in depth on that in this video. We'll do that at a later time. But I just wanted to show you guys more or less kind of where equipment is stored on this game. And then if we click up here, we can even sort our character box by star, level, quality, power, mark, faction. Or you can even click this here and expand them out to look more like this. You want to see more units at a time. So there you guys and gals go for the hero panel. Now, we have two more things. Well, actually, we still got to do the left side as well, but let's quickly go through it. We'll save the dungeon for last when it comes to the actual UI. There's a lot to dive into that. Let's first go over here. We have our notifications. You can see, you know, hotfix, weekly events, Infinite Magicraid is officially live, just some news and stuff like that, some feed if there's a maintenance coming up or if they fix something or whatever. They'll announce all that information here. And sometimes they even have surveys that you can do to get free polls, so definitely look out for that on the notice board. Then you have your friends list. Obviously your friends, your application, you can send friend requests, you can accept or deny requests. You can even click here and click quick claim and send, where you're going to get your refined summons and some stamina. So there's that. We have here the chat box, which I very rarely ever use for anything. There's various channels. You got the world, you got the gacha, you know, for people who just want to send me private messages or whatever. Or I'm sorry, this is for the guild itself. My bad. My apologies. That's for the guild. And then we have right here the game circle, personal, just some basic information. You can see some of the different guides and videos that are available through all the various content creators and some other helpful tips and tricks that people have available, which is very cool. You can even sort it out by hero spotlight, beginner guide, dungeon, patch notes. Just very, very cool stuff here. You can see Chloe. Chloe's one of the community reps, so you'll see their stuff pop up quite often. But again, it's just very, very cool how this is all set up. It's very nicely done, and I like it. Very, very cool. You'll see Elio is everywhere. Mad respect Elio. Elio is in so many games I've played. So yeah, there you go. There you go. And then we have the rewards. This is your mailbox, essentially, where you're gonna get your free stuff when they send it to you. There's all that. And then we have the campaign quests. These are quests that are going to be very important, very vital to the progression of your game. You're going to have to, a lot of these things are going to be forced on you. You're going to have to clear them to move on to the next chapter of story, or to get to the next portion of content or unlock new content, etc., etc. But there's some really good rewards down here. When we were talking earlier about free dupes of epics and legendaries, you'll see here this is one of them. They're called Epic Phantom Dragon Eye. And then we have one over here for legendaries. Oops, clicked the wrong one. My apologies. Legend Phantom Dragon Eye. So, and again, one of the best units in the game. Catherine, yay. Okay, so there's those. You're going to be doing quite a bit of those. Now, the dungeon. The dungeon has a lot of good, juicy stuff in here. You have your Emblem Challenge. You have your Faction Abyss, which is where you're going to go and eventually late game farm your auras. You have your Guild Boss, which you're going to do 2 times a day, 3 times if you have the subscription. You can even buy another try with gems if you'd like. I don't recommend it unless you're a whale. The Darwin Ruins. This is where you're going to be farming your artifacts and your gear. You have the Space Temple, which are kind of like little mini games that you got to try and get through these obstacle courses, which are very challenging, and the enemies are very powerful, and you got to beat them, and you get lots of summons and lots of gold. So these are a lot of fun. Those will be a video on their own at some point. Dragon Cliff, this is where you want to go if you want to burn all your stamina for no reason. And I'm not joking. If you do like 10 runs of this on stage 1, for example, you get 1 3-star dragon egg, and these dragon eggs are basically just fodder material. You get 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars of these from various types of different content. But we kind of went over these in my fodder video, which forget exactly what I titled that video. It was something like is it the biggest challenge or hardest challenge in the game, or something like that in my thoughts. Whatever I listed that as, we talked a little bit more in depth about the Dragon Cliff. The Brave Trial, this is where you fight other people's teams. It's not currently open, but basically it's got a draft system, which allows you to kind of draft, various buffs that you want to put on your team. And then you go and you fight teams that get stronger and stronger and stronger. And these are real players' teams. And you just keep going as long as you can until the event's over, and then you claim all the rewards throughout. You get a lot of gems from that, which is very cool. A lot of fun there. The Tower of Mark. This is where you're going to be running basically mono teams. You're going to be running a blue team, a red team, a green team, a forest mark team. You're going to be going into these different towers. You're going to try and climb as far as you can, because what you're really after are these runes. These runes that you can use to increase stats for that color of unit. So the forest mark, the green, blue, and red. And you get the various rewards down here depending on how many stars you get, because you get 3 stars per stage. And I believe every one of these has 30 stages. And if you can get to stage 30 on all 4 of these, congratulations, you just got yourself a mythic hero, because it requires 100 hero shards. So if you get this, if you can somehow one day get to floor 30 on all 4 of these towers, you now have a mythic hero. Congratulations. Now that's going to take months, if not a year plus, for a lot of you out there, but hey, it's a goal, something that you can hopefully one day achieve. Now, before we go out of the dungeon real quick, I'll just show you the Darwin Ruins real fast, just because there's a few different things in here. You have the Efreet, you have Gwyneth, you have Rum, you have Negia, Growlin, and then Marius, or Marius, if you will. Now, Nedgia, having a real trouble with his name. I'm just going to call him Ned. Ned gives you your Awakening 1 artifact. Awakening 3 will drop at Growlin, and then your Awakening 5 artifact will drop at Marius. You cannot use artifacts on units that are not awakened. You have to awaken them at 1, 3, and 5 to be able to use up to their maximum of 3 artifacts. Now, Marius also drops first time clear rewards. For each stage you clear, you get an actual dragon egg, 4-star up to 5-star. Growlin, he gives you epic skill ups, which you can see right here, which are very, very cool for your epic heroes. You can get some skill ups. Ned, I don't believe, oh yeah, Ned gives you EXP potions. So there you go. Rum has 4 different types of gear sets, as well as Gwyneth and Alfred. There's 12 sets of gear in total right here. However, that's not all the gear available in the game. There are stronger versions of that gear available in the Forge. Now, this is going to be your end game gear. This, we're going to be crafting some big stuff. So, Fearless set, Tough set, First Aid, Slay, Wild, Endurance, Holy, Feather, Knight, Guardian. Then we have Bloodthirsty, Hardening, and Accuracy. Now, I'm not going to go too much into all this, because, again, I will be making a gear guide video explaining more of this in depth. But you can go through here and look at all the cool gear. These Ignots right here that you can farm up for. Sorry, let me go back to this one. Yeah, these Ignots right here, you get a lot of these from various events and stuff like that that have a ranking system, and you get a few of those from mini games. And yeah, so you're gonna be utilizing those, and you can also craft using 5 and 6-star gear that you get that's at least epic or legendary variety that you get from the gear dungeons we already talked about. But again, we'll talk more about this when we do the gear guide video. So that is all that and more. Woo, there's a lot to cover, ladies and gentlemen. We already talked about Arena briefly. The market, again, we've already made a video kind of talking about what to do in the market with your gems and your gold, so I'm not going to cover that here. Dispatch, this you're going to be doing quite a few times a day. Gives you various rewards. You will need plenty of fodder to be able to clear these. As you can see, you got to throw in fodder depending on what fodder that they need. And there is a star level from 1 to 6, which signifies how good the reward will be, but also tells you how long you're gonna have to wait. And obviously better rewards are gonna require more people to put in. And you can also speed it up for gold, or I'm sorry, with gems, which I wouldn't recommend unless you are a whale. And it's very, very, very high-end, like level 6, level 7 rewards that you're getting. So that's Dispatch, which a lot of you are probably familiar with when you play games like this. We have Craft. This is where you're going to be making all your fodder. You can quick craft, which is nice. We don't got to sit there and do it one at a time manually, which would be really, really crappy. You could do this, for example. Obviously, we went over this in our fodder video too. I would not recommend doing this at all because you might need those epics later on at a later time. If you have any, 3 or 4 star dragon eggs, you can also use those too to feed in to make a 5-star hero, etc., etc. So that's just where you create your fodder and make some of your units that you're trying to build up to the 5-star. That way you can eventually awaken them. Okay, simple. This is where you can just basically go through and look at all the various mythic heroes that are available in the game. You can just go check them all out, and then if you have 100 shards, you'll eventually be able to craft the one that you want. Very, very cool. We already talked about the forge. All right, I think we're just talking about the middle stuff now, and then that'll be pretty much a wrap here, ladies and gentlemen. And I thank you all so much for your patience. We'll talk about Wish last because that's, of course, just very standard, just summoning. All right, Sanctuary. If you awaken heroes, you can put in the awakening heroes in these various different sections. And depending on how many points you get from your awakenings, you start getting these stat bonuses that go to your entire account. These are for everybody. These are some of the biggest stat increases in the entire game, but it requires you to awaken a lot of heroes. As you can see right now, we only have one hero awakened, and that's our boy Holder, and he's awakened 3 times. So he's giving me right now 100 points. Those 100 points right now have gotten me all the way up to this point where I'm getting defense plus 500, attack plus 2%, and plus 500 attack for my entire account. You can see right here too, it kind of explains what stats you're getting total for your account and all of what those stats mean, which, I mean, come on. So that's that. Talent, we briefly went over this when we talked about Arena, but there's also Mark Talent. You get these from the Mark Tower. As I said, these things right here from each individual tower. Going to go ahead and feed these in. You need 40 in total for level 1 to be able to go to level 2. So what I'd like to do is do 10, 10, 10, 10, then move on to level 2 and then start working there and do that for all the different Mark Towers. So that is your talents. Milestone. This is basically when players in the actual server, these are per server, do they meet certain requirements that allow you to go in and clear some and get some free rewards. So if you go to rewards here, for example, any player clears campaign stage 9-10 under hell mode in the current server. If somebody does that, we'll then be able to all get 30 free gems. If any player clears campaign stage 12-10 under hell mode in the current server, we'll all get 2 free pulls. So there you go. And that's for various different things. You also get them for building up certain element of characters for forest, green, blue, and red marks. So there you go. And then last but not least, we have the Wish. We will get to Guild in a moment as well, but we kind of already went over everything that's available in Guild, but we'll cover it in a second. But Wish is separated into 4 different things. You have your Refined Wish, which you can see here. We're going to go and do one real fast. This is basically your free-to-play. I like to call them your friend pulls, what a lot of people will associate them with in the game. And you can get up to a 4-star hero in this. With a 1% chance, you can get a 4-star epic. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of 1 and 2 stars and the occasional 3. Very good. Basically, that's your fodder banner. Excellent Wish. Now, this is the one that has a pity on it. Matter of fact, all 3 of these have pities on them to pull a legendary. Now, the first pity that you get when you first start the game, it'll be 50. And then it goes to 100, and then it'll be 150 thereafter. And it'll be like that forever. It'll go 150 every single time unless they do some kind of special event or whatever. And when you hit the pity, you're guaranteed to get a legendary. Legendary pull rates, I believe, are like 0.7%. Let me look real quick just to double check. So yes, so the Refined Wish, 1% chance for an epic. Excellent Wish, which we're currently on, is a 0.7% chance for an epic, 11.5 for an epic. Legend is 0.7. I don't know why I said epic. Supreme Wish is only epics and only legendaries. So you get 92% chance and an 8% chance, which would be these yellow Supreme Wish. These are very, very rare, but very, very valuable. Excellent Wish, of course, you're going to get this through a lot of various different types of content. Especially from all the space temples. That's where a majority of your pulls are going to come from, if I'm being honest. Those little mini game obstacle course areas that I talked about earlier. I'm going to do one pull real quick for you guys since you're all here and you've been watching this long. Okay, we got a 3-star hero. At least you're guaranteed a 3-star or higher, so it'll be very good for fodder. And then you have the Miracle Wish. These are like the rate up pull banner. These happen sparingly. I don't know how many times they do these a month on average, maybe once or twice, I would say. Probably more towards once, but I'm not entirely sure on that. But basically, this is just your rate up banner. That's what your Miracle pulls will be for. And that's it. That is it. The only thing I like about the Wish to be added is actually show us what units are available, because there are certain units that are not available in those pulls. Like Catherine, for example, from what I'm being told, you cannot pull her from the banner. So that's, that's something that might be useful information, especially if you're a whale and you're dropping $10,000 into the banner trying to pull a unit that doesn't even exist in there. I think that definitely needs to be addressed. That needs to be listed for sure. And that's more or less pretty much everything. The only thing we have left to talk about is to briefly go over guild real quick. You can see here you have your guild activeness. If you're active doing your guilds every day, your guild boss, you're going to get these rewards every single week, which are pretty solid, if I'm to be honest. Guild arena, again, is like once or twice every month. And the guild boss, you can fight it 2 times or 3 times if you have the subscription right now, currently active. And again, you get that for 3 days free when you first start the game. When you activate it, you can buy an additional attempts. We have up to level 5 of guild boss. The first one, you got to hit the requirement amount first. Before you go to level 2, you have your rankings, which you can see here. Obviously, we don't have 2 through 5 available yet for the boss, but we also get rewards here with a percentage chance. You can see here they give you a percentage chance right here. So if you can exceed 2 million damage, you have a 30% chance that when you get your daily reward sent to your box after reset every day, you have a 30% chance to get a pull, a 30% chance, or I'm sorry, a 10% chance to get a basic skill scroll, and 16 gems and 60,000 gold. So you definitely want to try and do as much damage as you can to try and make sure you cap the percentages to try and get a free pull, because that could be potentially a free few pulls a week if you get good RNG. So there you go. So that is guilds for the most part. But last but not least, let's go ahead and quickly go over some gameplay. So what we're going to do is just jump into any map real fast. So we're going to go back to, let's just go into common real fast, just to make this super simple. We're going to go somewhere that did not fully 3-star clear yet. Let's go to Chaos Town. And let's do, which one did I not? Okay, 10-5. Let's go in here. I'm only going to run 1 unit. I'm going to run Holder real fast. Let's go ahead and do this. They have all these nice, helpful tooltips that show up on the screen all the time too, which are very nice. Definitely look into those sometimes. I mean, they don't tell you too much, but visually, they can help you out with some things that you might be confused on. All right, so obviously, you have cooldowns for your skills. You have your skills available at the bottom right of your screen. Your turn order is decided by the little yellow bar under the health bar. You see these little yellow bars, like on these Lesters, these guys with the cowboy hats? You'll see these little yellow bars. Those determine who is going next. And there are units in the game that can kind of manipulate those. They can make those bars go up faster or go lower. So if you ever play like Epic 7, for example, you might consider that combat readiness, if you will. There's also speed in the game too. Speed plays a factor. If you're faster than everything else, obviously you're going to get to go first, so your yellow bar is going to get filled up. So there's 2 ways to manipulate who goes in what turn order: the turn meter and speed. So keep that in mind. This little thing on the left side of where it says my holder's level is 130, that's just showing you how many dupes that he has invested into him. As you can see, I have 1 invested, and there's one little yellow bar there. The green bar obviously is the HP. The buffs above his head are just the buffs because he just used his skill. That's why there's a 3-turn cooldown right now. The turns, you can see over here on the right side, you got 300 turns to clear this content, or you just lose. You can see what wave we're on, how much time we've taken so far in the stage. You can see your speed can go ×1, ×2, up to ×4, and you can turn auto on and off, and you can also select what targets you want to select by just clicking them. And you can also do that on auto as well. You can also select what target you want to do. So that's more or less pretty much the gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just going to let this run through, and then we're going to end up the video. Hopefully this video was very helpful. I wanted to make sure that I got a lot of my information accurate. I did a lot of research. I played through a lot of different accounts, tested a lot of things out, and here we are. So hopefully this video wasn't too long. I tried to wrap it up quick. But that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys all enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, check notifications, join us in the Discord in the description below, and like today's video. Feed our boy Gio, our little blue dragon mascot. We got to make him nice and fat before winter. So I appreciate y'all so much. Until next time, peace.